Welcome, friends, family, everybody to Enjoy English. This here is Bernice.
And over there is
Shane.
好的，又是看到我们两个 S and B 的结合，赞。
赞。Today we are talking about a pretty cool thing.
Wow.
Coachella. This is from my home state.
没错
In California.
没错
Although I have never gone to Coachella. So the title is called Catch Coachella Fever.
好的，我们要讲的是科切拉。
Now, what does it mean to catch the fever of something? So we know if you catch a fever, that's not good.
Yeah,
You catch a
fever 原本是
fever.
high temperature， 你发烧了。
Basically, if you catch the fever of something like a catch Coachella fever, that just means that Coachella is very hot right now, like a fever, right? So you catch it and you get the feeling like you want to go and join this thing too. So catching Coachella fever is going to be a must-attend event for lovers of music, art, fashion, and fun.
For lovers，
So that's what Coachella is.
真好。
For not lovers, lovers of music. I guess lovers will go there too, but
Yeah.
the key is lovers of music,
Music.
lovers of art, lovers of fashion, lovers of fun. Well,
对。
who does not love fun?
没错，所以这个所谓的科切拉音乐节，好，它是一个刚刚老师讲这个 fever 原本是发烧的意思，那意思就是说，因为这个音乐节实在是太 exciting。太这个大家去感觉那个感受，所以好像你发烧一样，很热嘛，很热门的那个感觉。然后是一个你一定要去造访的一个地点，好的一个 event 这样的一个节庆。那这个节庆就是对于你如果对于音乐啦、艺术啦、时尚还有 fun， 你想要好玩的这些爱好者，通通都可以去的音乐节。
Sounds fun, right?
没错。
Okay, let's take a short break and we will get into this article.
好的。
Catch Coachella Fever. The Coachella Festival is one of the world's largest events for music, art, and fashion. When the festival began in 1999, it was a 2-day event centering on alternative music. Tickets were only $50 with parking and a bottle of water included. Attendance was low, so the organizers lost a lot of money in the first year. However, they followed their vision, improved some details, and came back in 2001 with greater success. Coachella is hosted every year in Indio, California. The first event was held in October, but audiences and performers found the weather too hot. In 2001, the dates of the festival were changed to April. Now, Coachella marks the beginning of festival season on the West Coast, and it has become an important destination for artists and fans. Ticket prices have increased with the scale of the festival, and it has grown to a large event that takes place on 6 stages over the course of 2 weekends. Many people stay at the campground or arrive in a vehicle that they can also sleep in. About 500,000 people attend the festival every year.
All right, so all about Coachella. So I'm going to be learning quite a bit about it too, since I have never attended. But I know more about it than the average person
当然
because it takes place basically in my hometown. Although I have to say California is very big. It's bigger than Taiwan.
Yeah,
Okay.
we know.
So it's a big place to go. And this area where they hold the festival is not really close to where I grew up. So that's my excuse. So I've told you my excuse for being ignorant of the topic, even though it's from my hometown. Let's begin the article. The Coachella Festival is one of the world's largest events for music, art, and fashion. Okay, so it's not just about one thing, although it is mostly about music.
没错，所以这个科切拉音乐节嘛，因为它的中文就是这样翻了，音乐节。
Chinese that's a weird translation. It doesn't roll off of the tongue.
OK,
It's not very smooth.
OK, 好，所以老师觉得这个翻译真的是蛮怪的，不是非常的有反映出来这个节日的感觉。
没有 feel.
OK, 所以 anyway 这个科切拉音乐节，好，念中文也是确实我也觉得蛮怪异的哈。对，这个翻译很怪。好 ，anyway， 它是一个世界上最大的，尤其是跟这个音乐啦、好艺术啦，还有 fashion 时尚有关的一个这个活动。虽然说刚才 Shane 老师说他从来也没去过，就在他的 hometown， 因为这个老师也是住 LA， 也是在 California， 只是说他从来没去过这个地方。
No, not yet. Not yet. There's always still a chance.
对。
Okay, so continuing. When the festival began in 1999, it was a 2-day event centering on alternative music.
Oh.
Now, what do you mean? It was centering on alternative music. So we know alternative music is a type of music, a genre of music, right? And to center in on it just means that basically that was what the subject of the music festival was. That's the kind of music. Basically, like a fanway, 就是 what kind of music do they play there? And you go there, you're just going to hear alternative music.
没错，所以呢，这一个节庆呢，它是在1999年所开始的。那当时开始的时候，它是2天的一个这个音乐节。然后它音乐节的这个，刚才老师讲的 center on， 这个 center 就是以什么为中心嘛，就是你的主轴，你的主题就是这个，就是你去那边听音乐，它就是绕着这个这样的一个 topic， 这样的一个 subject。那它的主要的这个 center on 呢是在什么地方呢？是在 alternative music。所谓的 alternative 就是比较另类一点的，就是比较没有那么美式传统的一些 music， 可能有一些对，可能有一些其他的一些音乐穿杂在其中，这样的一些另类的音乐。
What is it because an alternative means that it's something you can instead of something else, right? It's an alternative. So this kind of music is an alternative from other types of music, and typically what that means is popular music, pop music. So it's the alternative to pop music.
对，就是另类的一些比较流行乐。那刚才老师有说到一个字叫 genre， 这个字其实是个法文 G-E-N-R-E， 其实这个 genre 就是 kind， 就是某一个类型的，尤其是文学啦、艺术方面的这个类型。
Type, kind, right. Okay. Continuing, tickets were only $50 with parking and a bottle of water included. Okay, so you pay $50, you get to go enjoy the show, right? All this art, all this music, all this fashion. $50, that includes parking. So that includes your parking fee, so you don't have to pay separate for parking. And they gave you a bottle of water.
没错，所以呢，当时在1999年推出的时候呢，那个时候的门票呢就只要50块的美金。然后呢，这50块除了你可以去享受它的音乐节之外呢，你还可以去在那边停车，免费的，而且呢还送你一瓶水。
Wow. Well, it is in the desert. So you would need it.
对，在这个沙漠区确实是需要一瓶水的。
Continuing, attendance was low. So the organizers lost a lot of money in the first year.
Oh.
Makes sense. That's the first year of anything. Word of mouth has not really gotten out yet. Now, when we say word of mouth, that means that I tell Bernice tells her friend, right? So none of this has happened yet. So, they lost money.
没错。
Right?
对，所以第一年的时候，就是刚才Shane 老师讲的，因为这个口碑还没有传出去，或者是这个地点大家也不知道有举办这样的音乐节，所以确实是 attendance 它的出席率呢非常非常的低，所以就是没什么人来啦。所以当时的这个主办单位呢，确实也损失了挺多钱，尤其在第一年的时候。
However, they followed their vision, improved some details, and came back in 2001 with greater success. Okay, so they followed their vision. So their vision is basically like what their plan is, what they think this thing should be. Right? So we think of when we're talking about vision, we're talking about being able to see, right? But when you have a vision, this is like using your imagination to see what the future will be like. So they know what they want, they know what they're trying to achieve, and so they follow that. They follow that vision.
没错，所以刚刚Shane老师在解释 vision 这个字，原本 vision 是指我们的视力，我们可以看得到的这个范围内。那在这边呢，如果有一个人 somebody has or have a vision， 就是表示你对于未来，你有这样的一个计划，有一个 goal， 有一个目标，然后你知道你要的是什么，然后你要达成它，对于未来的一个愿景。好，所以呢，虽然这个主办单位在第一年啊，1999年刚推出的时候，哇，损失了很多钱，可是他们呢继续的 follow 遵循他们对于未来这个愿景，表示我知道以后一定这个东西会很成功的。果然，他们就去做了一些改善。所以当时他们就改善了某些的这个场景里面，音乐节里面的一些 details， 一些细节。就在2001年，不过是2年的时间呢，他们就 came back， 而且他们回来的时候是有着 greater success， 是带来巨大的成功。所以当时2年之后，他们马上就东山再起了。
Yeah, and I remember hearing about it really right around that time in 2001. I didn't really hear about it in 1999. It was more like 2001. And then in 2002, you just hear all the young people talking about, did you go to Coachella? Are you going to Coachella next year? Do you know who's going to be performing at Coachella? Coachella? It's all you heard about.
好，所以Shane老师也是差不多在这个时间点才听到大部分的人就开始讲到这样的一个音乐节庆了。
All right, why don't we take a short break and we'll be back in a moment.
好的。
Okay, so welcome back. And so we were saying before that I've never been to Coachella. And a lot of it has to do with the location because it's in the desert. It's in a place that's pretty remote. And it's not within a city or even suburbs. It's just far out into, it's a pretty far away location.
Okay.
So let's continue the reading. Coachella is hosted every year in Indio, California. So Indio, California doesn't have a very big population of people living there.
Right.
It's quite far away from everything.
这个地方还真的是大部分去加州，我们都知道 San Francisco，LA or San Diego，OK， 这些地方我们都真的很少听过 Indio 这一个地方，它叫中文就翻印第奥啦，好 Indio 这个地方，对，也是翻译的好奇怪，印第奥，好。
Now, he said it was hosted there. Coachella was hosted in Indio. So to host something means that you will hold an event. You will have people come to a place. So to be a host means that you allow someone to come to your place and you basically entertain them or something. Now here, of course, the land is not going to host you, but it does act as it provides you this place to have your concert, basically, your festival.
Yes.OK， 好，所以这边的 host 原本我们在 host 当名词就是指你是主人嘛，你是主人的话，你就是开放这个地方啦，欢迎大家来啦，举办一些什么样的活动。所以呢，这个科切拉的音乐节呢，它其实每一年就是在加州这个地方 Indio 这个地方来举办的。好，举行的，所以你这个 host 你要把它翻成 held H-E-L-D 就在这边举行就对了。
Right, exactly. Located. Coachella's located every year. Located, held, all those things you could say.
但是就像Shane老师讲，很远。 因为它在沙漠区，remote 就是很远的意思。
Quite remote, yes.
对。
Okay, the first event was held in October, but audiences and performers found the weather too hot. Okay. In 2001, the dates of the festival were changed to April. Okay, so it was held in October and it was too hot. Well, I think
10月
I could imagine one of the problems would also be the temperature difference. Because in October, especially in Los Angeles or anywhere like in California, California is pretty much, most of it's a desert. And India is in the desert. And you have very hot days, but then you have very cold nights as well. So you have to be careful what time of the year you're visiting in the desert.
没错。
For that reason.
对，所以我们知道，本来在沙漠区，它的日夜温差就非常非常的大了。所以像这一个，尤其是刚刚讲的 India， 它就在沙漠里面，所以呢，它本来就是因为这样的温差会造成这些刚才讲的嘛 ，attendance is low， 就是比较没有什么人会去。所以它第一场举办的时候是在10月份。然后可是呢，那个时候的这些观众啊，还有这些表演者都认为，哦，这个天气也太热了吧，对不对？当然它可能是白天很热，但是到了晚上的时候呢，就会变成比较冷一点。
我觉得。
对，所以2001年的时候呢，他们就把这个日期改到怎么样呢？被改变到4月来举行了。
Yeah, nice. The middle of spring.
Yeah.
That's always a
比较是春天。
That's always a good time of year, no matter where you are.
没错。
Okay, continuing. Now, Coachella marks the beginning of festival season on the West Coast, and it has become an important destination for artists and fans. Okay, so for artists and fans alike. So we're saying here that, not only do you have music, you have art, you have fashion, right? So this is a place for artists and fans alike. So an artist could be a musician, right? Someone who plays music could be, we call them music artists. So it marks the beginning of festival season. So that means that there's even more festivals that will happen around that time on the West Coast. Here, the West Coast, they're talking about the West Coast of the United States. We say California is on the West Coast.
没错，对，所以这个在比较西边就是讲美国西边，那其实就是指的就是加州这个地方了。对，所以呢，到了如今呢，这个科切拉的这样的一个音乐节呢 ，marks 这个 marks 就是有一种代表性，标示着表示就是 represents the beginning of festival season， 就是这个时候呢，就是这种在美国西海岸的音乐季要开始咯，表示不是只有 Coachella， 还有别的一些 festivals 也会在这边举行。然后呢，它也开始变成一个非常重要的一个 destination， 就是我们讲的一个目的地，一个地点。尤其是对于这些呢，不管是你是 artist， 你是这些艺术的人也好啦，对，表演者，或者是你就是原本的这些歌迷、音乐迷啦，然后 fashion 的 fans 都可以，通通都可以去这个地方。
Right. So continuing, ticket prices have increased with the scale of the festival, and it has grown to a large event that takes place on 6 stages over the course of 2 weekends. Wow, okay. So they said the ticket prices have increased because remember, it used to just be $50, right?
Yeah.
As an entrance fee. You got parking, you got your bottle of water, $50. I think now it's more like maybe 10 times that amount. I've heard like $400, $500, $600 for tickets.
Okay.
So the prices have increased with the scale of the festival. So the scale is really, we're talking about the size and how much there is to offer there. And in the beginning, it was just a few bands playing some alternative music. But now it has become a very huge event. And the bigger the event, the more money you've got to pay to attend.
Yes. That's true.
You have bigger stars coming. You have bigger, like everything is bigger and better. So it's quite expensive now.
所以他这边的第一句就是说呢，当然啦，这个水涨船高了嘛，对吧？就是这个 festival 的 scale， 我们刚刚讲就是 size。 它的规模。因为呢，随着它的规模呢变得比较大了，那当然这个价格就得上涨啦，对不对？所以刚刚老师讲说，可能10倍，以前原本是$50，现在可能$400-500左右的一个门票价了。而且呢，他现在已经，所以怪不得 Shane 老师不去。
对，
这是 another excuse.
That's a good reason, not an excuse.
OK.
Too much money.
好的，然后接着呢。这个除了票价上涨之外呢，这个音乐节呢 ，it 就是指这个科切拉这个音乐节呢，也开始的慢慢发展成为一个比较大型的一个活动。而且这个活动呢，它举行的这个地点呢是有6个舞台，1、2、3、4、5、6这么大哦。好，所以有6个舞台。Over the course of 就是在这个期间里面，那这个时候举行的时间也不是只有2天了。
Right， 2个周末。2 weekends.
对，2个周末，对，2周末。
Yeah, that's 4 whole days. So I guess if you really think about it and you're going to spend a lot of time there, it's if you go on a vacation anywhere and have to pay for a hotel or something, you're going to spend a lot of money. And here you might get to see some of your favorite performers, right? And if you're into art and fashion, this could just be great. So some people might think that's it's cheap if it's only $500.
也对，因为你去一个地方，你可以又欣赏到 music， 又欣赏到你的这些什么歌手啦、明星啦、performance 啦，然后你又可以看到 fashion， 所以其实也是一举数得啦。
Okay, so many people stay at the campground or arrive in a vehicle that they can also sleep in. So
省了饭店钱了。
You must be wondering, this place is very PMP, right? It's just in the middle of nowhere, very remote. So where are people going to be sleeping? It's not like there's a lot of hotels in an area like that. So they say here there's actually a campground for people to just go camping. And it is pretty nice to go camping in the desert. Beautiful stars in the sky at night, and it is quite impressive. Or you can have some type of vehicle you can sleep in, whether that's a car. Some people might have an RV, which is a recreational vehicle. It's like almost like a house on wheels, right? So that's the way you're not going to check into a nice hotel.
没错。
So sleep on the ground or sleep in the car, basically.
对，所以刚刚老师那个叫做这个 house on the wheels， 就是在轮子上面的房子，就是它是可移动式的这种车子，然后同时你又可以睡在里面。对，在国外美国的话，确实很常看到这样的这个车子。
My grandparents had.
That costs a lot, right?
An RV. Yeah, it can cost as much as a house.
Yeah, 对，可以跟一个房子一样的价钱，所以确实是 house on the wheels.
But they're very cool.
对，是没有错啦。你可以开到哪里睡到哪里，你就住在那个每天住不一样的地方也可以。
Well, my grandparents they retired. They basically that's what they did. They traveled around America. They would travel like up to maybe India, travel there and stay at a campground, and then just travel all around the United States. And that was what they did during their retirement. So
确实很好。退休的时候有这种生活，确实是蛮享受的，对不对？但是也只能在像美国这种比较大的国家，在台湾的话，你这样到处开。第一个，你光找那个 parking 的地方就找不到了，对，很难可以停到这么大的车子。所以呢，在那个时候，很多人呢，怎么样在这个就是度过这样的一个音乐节呢？第一个就是他那边会有那个露营的那个营地，你就在那边过夜。要不然就是说呢，你到达那边的时候，你就睡在车子里面 ，vehicle 就是 car， 那个车子就是你可以睡在里面的，所以这样子也蛮方便的。
Okay, and about 500,000 people attend the festival every year.
Wow,
that's a lot of people.
对
500,000 people.
没错，所以以前的 attendance is low， 现在呢有50万的人每一年都去参加这一场音乐节。
Oh, I hope you found this to be an interesting topic. And if you have, you are lucky because this is just part 1. We have part 2 coming for you guys next time. So make sure that you tune in and we will see you then.
Okay, bye.
Bye.